All right, so example 4 says, given the equation of y equals negative 2 sine of 3x minus 6 pi, describe the transformations that occur from the parent graph y equals sine of x, and then sketch the graph. So let's go through that equation. What is that negative at the front going to do? It's going to reflect across x-axis. It affects the y, so in order for the y to change signs, it has to go up or down, which means we cross the x-axis. All right, what is the 2 going to do?
It's going to be the midline.
No.
It's going to be amplitude.
It's the amplitude. It's
distance from the midline to the maximum.
It's also known as a vertical stretch. So it's going to be a vertical stretch by 2.
Wouldn't it be? No, that would be if it was a compression. It would be by 1/2.
All right. Now this one's written with b inside, so let's pull it out. So let's take the 3 out, and what would that give me? X minus
6 pi over 3.
2 pi.
Yes.
Because you take 6 divided by 3 and you get 2, right?
Yes.
All right. So what does the 3 do to my graph? Well, technically it's a horizontal
It's gonna compress it.
compression, good, by 1/3. So we could say it's going to be a horizontal compression. But what do we use that B for?
Period.
Yeah, really they just give us it as a period. So what will a period be?
Is 2 pi over 3.
2 pi over 3. That's why it's a compression, because remember your period of your parent function is 2 pi, and this one is smaller, so it brought it in. So it's 2 pi over 3. And then what is the minus 2 pi?
That's your C.
It's my C.
Your horizontal shift.
So it's a horizontal shift. Or what else do we call that? The phase shift. Either way, we call it, we label it the same way. What is it going to do?
Shift is to the right. 2 pi.
To the right, 2 pi. All right, so we're looking at sine. So I'm going to write down my parent table because I need it to look at. What's going to happen to my x's?
Turn to divide by 3.
I'm going to divide them by 3. What else?
You're also going to add 6 pi.
Or add 2 pi.
Oh, 2.
And then we're going to divide by the 3. Because remember, you add or subtract with x first. So that really means instead of divide by 3, what are we going to do?
Multiply by 1/3.
Multiply by 1/3. And what are we going to do to our y's?
Multiply by -2.
All right, I'll do the y's, you do the x's. Okay, so to do our x's, we said we're going to take x plus pi over 2. No, plus 2 pi, sorry. And then we're going to multiply that by 1/3, correct?
Yes.
So let's go through this. So what is 0 plus 2 pi?
2 pi.
Times the 1/3?
2 pi over 3. Yes.
Okay, then we got pi over 2 plus 2 pi. 5 pi over 2 times 1/3, which is 5 pi over 6.
Wait, how is it? How do you get 5 pi over 2?
Because it's 1/2 plus 2, which makes it 2 1/2, which is 5/2. Okay? Remember, no, let's take 1/2, add 2, and change it to an improper fraction. All right, pi plus 2 pi
3 pi.
times 1/3,
1.
1 pi. 3 pi over 2 plus 2 pi. 7 pi over 2, good, times 1/3. And then 2 pi plus 2 pi times 1/3. Good. All right, so there are x's. So 2 pi over 3, 5 pi over 6, pi, 7 pi over 6, and 4 pi over 3. Uh-oh. Sorry, they're not lined up. All right, you got those written down? All right, because I'm going to go back to that other page, and you're going to have to tell me them because I'm going to lose my work when I do that. Still writing? Okay, so our table. Let's see, these were this. What were my x's?
2 pi over 3.
Okay, so 2 pi over 3.
5 pi over 6.
Uh-huh.
Pi. 7 over 6 pi. 4 pi over 3.
All right, so let's check our scale. So find pi. And how many lines are between 0 and pi? 6. So each line's a pi over 6. And what's my largest denominator?
6.
A 6. So that's what I needed, right? All right, so let's graph them. So 5 pi over 6 is 5 lines. 1, 2, 3, 4. So I know that's going to be here. And I can see pi is right there. So where's 2 pi over 3? It's the one just on the other side of 5 pi over 6, isn't it?
Yes.
So it means it's 4 pi over 6. And think about it, 2/3 is the same as 4 over 6, isn't it? All right. So we can just continue our pattern here.
Now that I didn't fall asleep in this class, it's going to be a definite no-go for English next period. I'm going to be dozed off.
I'm going to send this video to your parents.
Is it recording our voices too?
Absolutely. Hey, I don't give you my consent to use this video.
Yeah,
It's for educational purposes only. It's okay.
don't matter.
Doesn't matter, I'm still.
The future kids that are going to be watching this
I'm
video.
gonna take that revenue.
Okay, so there's our graph. And so that is example 4.